My name is Ericson Harell. I'm the officer that refused to remove his mask when asked to by the police department. I'm a 15-year veteran of the City of North Miami Beach Police Department, 4-year veteran of the military. I did 4 years in the Marines. And yeah, I've been thrown into the spotlight. Just trying to exercise my First Amendment. The whole, the Guy Fawkes mask, the anonymous mask, I realize there's a group of people out there, there's a culture that recognizes the mask as a form of protest, as a form of activism. So I put the mask on. I was standing out in the corner one day wearing the mask, and another gentleman saw me at the time, and he pulled over and actually joined me because he recognized the mask. He had his mask in the car, and that was the point I'm trying to make, that it's a culture. I work the night shift. I had just gotten off of work. I keep my mask in my truck and my cape in the truck and the flag and everything. So I decided to go out there that day. I put on my mask, put the cape on, grabbed the flag, stood on the side of the road, well off the roadway. I wasn't obstructing traffic anyway. No more than 15 minutes on the scene, the first officer showed up. She told me she didn't want me standing there. She wanted me to leave, and I refused. At that point, I guess, she felt like I was challenging her, and she wanted to, show me who was boss, I guess. I explained to her the statute under the Florida state law, that 876.12, the statute she charged me with, was not put into place for peaceful protests. Individuals out on the side of the road just trying to express their First Amendment right. Her supervisor showed up, and at some point, I guess they decided to arrest me for refusing to take the mask off and refusing to identify myself. I read a couple of articles where they thought I was part of this larger protest, and in actual reality I was alone at the time. So I was a soldier of one. I like that commercial. I only identified myself as a police officer after the fact because I didn't want to have the preferential treatment where they didn't arrest me because they said, "Oh, you're a police officer." I wanted to demonstrate that, hey, I'm just like you. I'm just like everyone else. I want to be respected. I want my rights to be respected, regardless of who I am.
All right. So how are you doing?
Great. You don't mind I record, do you?
No, you can record all you want. I'm gonna have to ask you to take the mask off, though.
Under what statute?
There's a statute.
I was merely trying to exercise my First Amendment right. The law was put into place back in maybe late 1950s to combat the Klan when they were more public and trying to intimidate a certain class of people, a race of people. And the courts ruled that that statute was too vague. So they amended it to add the 876.155, where it says a person is not guilty of that crime unless they have the intent to, intimidate someone. I was recording the encounter because I knew this might be something that I might want to record. I was recording, and the sergeant came on scene. I guess he didn't like the idea I was recording, and he snatched the camera out of my hand, saying it might be a weapon. The two officers on scene, they obviously didn't think it was a weapon, and I'm currently on administrative leave, and I guess if I'm found guilty of committing this, wearing a mask in public, my agency can, I guess, up into including maybe termination, other disciplinary actions, but I guess the worst would be possible, termination. So.
And what you were doing, would you do anything different?
No. What I was doing, I still to this day feel like it doesn't affect. It's not, that law is not in place for peaceful protest. So I would definitely, I still want to do that. And since my awakening, I've realized there's a much more of a greater issue at hand. And I try to express to them that, for me, I have a daughter, I have children, and I don't have the luxury of not being involved. I think there's a greater risk at not being involved and not saying anything to our freedom and our way of life if we do nothing. We are the frontline defenders of to support and defend the Constitution. Our job is greater than just arresting people for petty crimes like marijuana. Our job is greater than writing tickets for speeding. Our job is to protect the unpopular speech, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. And I would just implore them to get involved and turn off the television, turn off the sports, and really live for the oath that they took an oath to, their city, their country. I think fear keeps a lot of people back from doing what they do, and for me, I've lost my fear. Now that I realize there's a war coming, and we're in the midst of it, and I no longer can be afraid, so it's time to fight. My name is Ericson Harell, and on November 22nd, I was arrested for exercising my First Amendment right. It's been almost 2-3 weeks now, and just recently found out the case has been dropped due to lack of evidence, a lack of validity to the claim. So yeah, now we move forward. The resistance doesn't stop. She got an email last night where she told me that the case has been dropped, and from that moment on, all my coworkers started texting me saying, yeah, the case has been dropped. Congratulations, good job. I definitely think this is a victory for the liberty, the freedom movement all around the world. I think it touched a personal connection with everyone because they needed to see a police officer, a soldier, someone out there defending their right as a citizen. So it definitely is a victory, and I would hope that it touched another officer, another military to stand up now and protect the weak and the sick and the elderly, because when the time comes, they're going to need our guidance, they're going to need our training and our dedication. I definitely want to address the police, the military, the everyday patriot out there, that Al-Qaeda isn't the one taxing us into poverty. Al-Qaeda isn't the one attacking our Second Amendment. Al-Qaeda isn't the one attacking the Fourth Amendment and stripping us of our rights. Our foe looks like us, they dress like us, and we see them every day on television telling us that they need to take more of our civil liberties. I definitely believe when it went viral and they saw the attention, that they questioned the arrest. Definitely, I believe all the phone calls and people calling my agency and probably the police station over at the plantation definitely helped. The state attorneys reviewed the case, and they determined that I had not broken any laws and my actions on that day were legal and lawful. The law is simple. You can be in a public domain, even a private property, if you're given authorization. You can wear a mask. If you're not committing a crime, you're allowed to wear a mask. And the law is simple. It's been in place since the 1980s, and people should get out there and exercise their rights. We don't exercise them, we're going to lose them. So peer pressure is a son of a gun, because a lot of my co-workers, there's a handful that support me, and the others, a lot of these are big macho guys, and they are more interested in the football and the Sons of Anarchy, the reality shows. But it's funny though, they'll see something in the news and they'll relate it to something I said, and they'll pull me aside and go, "Hey, what do you think about that? Does that sound like a conspiracy?" So it does kind of give me applause to continue to talk, because when you talk, they can't take back what they hear.
Why do you go into that, and how do you deal with that pressure?
Well, I took the red pill, and I understand the psychology behind the brainwashing that we've undergone. I understand that their military and police officers are deep under this brainwashing. So I know it takes a little bit more work than the average citizen to try to get them to think outside the box.
Anything you'd like to say out there to people who might be considering becoming active?
Do it, because again, in my first interview, we don't have the luxury of not being involved. We risk a greater threat if we don't get involved, and if you truly cared about your family, you will get involved. I definitely think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but I think we can create a resistance to it. The more people that are waking up, the more people that are acting out, we can slow down the system. We can create friction in the system, and I think definitely the resistance, the New World Order, they think they can kill us all, but they won't be able to kill us all. There'll always be a small resistance. Nature, God will find a way, and we will prevail.